without further ado, I'll pass now the floor to André Aragão Azevedo, which I kindly ask to put the video on right at the moment. Thank you so much for joining and being here with us. I don't have another better expression to introduce André Aragão Azevedo for our English speaker viewers than as the Robin Hood of the digital transition in Portugal. It's someone that is going to make an after and a before in Portugal, and I'm very pleased to have him here, especially in a Health Data Forum. André Azevedo, all yours, the floor.
Thank you very much, Paul. I don't know if I am at the level of the ambition that you are mentioning, but thanks anyway for that, for expecting so much. I also feel that energy for this Monday term of 4 years in the government. It was a big change in terms of life experience, and obviously I will put all my energy to be successful in it, because I think that's what is the best for our country. Hello everyone. I'd like to start by thanking Hospital do Futuro and you in particular, Paul, for the invitation to take part in this health forum, and especially for not giving up the event despite the epidemic crisis that we are facing. This is in fact a great example on how digital can respond in a very agile way to a new and unexpected challenge. And I am sure we will be able to have a similar or an even better experience and impact with this alternative format at a lower cost, which is always important. And also, I believe it's important to emphasize the fact that Hospital do Futuro has been a heavy contributor to the discussion around the future of health in Portugal, and it's been doing this for more than 15 years, and for that I'd like to congratulate you for that impact. Health data is obviously at the center of any discussion about the future of healthcare, and I would say that leveraging the digital and technology is probably the best option we have to break the future of health. There is a great consensus about the fact that data-driven innovation will bring enormous benefits for citizens and for the healthcare.
Sorry, I think we have some interruption on the line.
Yeah, it's okay, but it's muted already. And because for the first time in history, we can offer at a large scale improved personalized medicine. And so efficiency and sustainability and even our lives are increasingly dependent on the use that we can make of data, and we have today the best conditions ever to potentiate this use and the value of all that information. So both from an individual and from a population perspective, health data efficient use is crucial for the success of any strategy of health treatment. In spite of the computing capacity that is nowadays available, we depend significantly on the existence and on the access of big volumes of data. This access requires, since the very first moment that when we produce that data, that we have in mind the concern with the format and with the requirements to ensure that we can offer a safe and effective use of that data in different contexts. Both public and private entities must ensure that this objective of data circularity is a major concern, not only by default but also by design. And Portugal has, in terms of health data and work and on recognizing the importance of data for the outcomes in terms of health, we have a relevant track record. We integrated the restrict number of countries that launched the EPSUS project in 2008, and we took part on the project to set out and develop cross-border health services already more than 10 years ago in order to promote the exchange of patient summary data. It's always good to remind us of the history and all the people that already a long time ago worked with that purpose. I would say from the government perspective that digital transformation is obviously a top priority. It's one of the 4 strategic areas of our program of government. For the first time in history, we have a specific Secretary of State for Digital Transition. and we have the global responsibility of coordinating the strategy for that digital transition. And we want to do it in a very collaborative way, working with the different governmental areas, ensuring that each area of government has its own strategy, but always in an integrated way to ensure that there is a good articulation between the different ministries and the different initiatives. Even yesterday, the Secretary of State for Health mentioned the Health National Plan, and we are obviously fully committed with its implementation. But I don't know if all of you are aware, I hope some of you at least are, we have recently approved an action plan for digital transition that in fact puts data at the center of our strategy, because we consider that data can be the catalyst for the digital transition, because in a certain sense it impacts the three main pillars of our action plan. The first pillar is about people and digital skills, and obviously this is a very important area that we need to cover with our plan. We need to ensure that we will not face a shortage of highly skilled people that are able to extract the value out of the data. And we need to invest at two levels. We need to make sure that the new generations leave the universities, leave schools with the right tools and the capacity to work with these new digital tools. But at the same time, we must pay attention and look and work very closely with the active population, to ensure that the actual employees are ready to respond to the new market needs. And so we need to make a strong investment in terms of reskilling and upskilling of our population. The second pillar of our action plan for digital transition, and it's also related with the top priority of data, it's about how to transform the business models of our companies. We obviously need to innovate. We want to try to make a transition of our economic model to a much highly differentiated and to incorporate much more knowledge and experimentation and science and research in our business models. And to do that, we must use our data, and we must have a clear framework. Namely, and as Martin just mentioned before me, we need to have clear rules on data access and how to use it in order to comply with the European values. We must bear in mind that those European values are a competitive advantage. Some people and some sectors and some countries state that these European values can be considered a blocker to innovation. I would say exactly the opposite. The GDPR experience demonstrated that sometimes having clear rules and protecting individual rights can make the difference in creating the right trust and the right confidence on the ecosystem, so that people can use digital ecosystem in a way that they feel the security and the confidence to continue and to invest even more on that ecosystem. And obviously it's important also to emphasize the role that startups and the small and medium companies are having in their contribution to this circular economy of data. By the way, some of the sponsors of this event, and I'm thinking about Glean, DevScope, Span, Healthy Systems, Novartis, and so on, I cannot name them all, are in fact real and great examples of how to use health data for business. And then there is another dimension regarding the digital transition of companies, which is the need to make the cross collaboration with the scientific and the technical and the academic ecosystem. Only from that partnership and from that close relationship, we will be able to take advantage and extract value of the incredible value of the information and of data that is at this moment residing in many public data warehouses. And we have also good examples of spin-offs and startups that in fact build their success on very innovative ways of processing data and of monetizing the investment on research. And finally, on the third pillar, I would highlight the role of the public administration in this change for a future and a single data market, because public administration is probably where the biggest volumes of data is at this moment residing. And we need to change the mindset of part of our public administration that has, I believe, to evolve from in the concept of data ownership. We must ensure that all that data is available for the interest of the community, but without compromising the ethical and the privacy values. And so basically, we need to promote an open data attitude. And that's what we are working on in order to assure that in the near future, new system will provide quality data, and that is well described and documented so that it has the potential to be reused and to be available for both private and public sector. So the basic principle will be develop systems that produce open data by design and by default. And obviously, we are also in this positioning totally aligned with the European strategy for data. Martin make a brief description of the level of ambition. We truly believe that is the right way. Also internally, as I try to explain, we are totally aligned with that, and we are doing and taking the right steps to materialize that vision, because we know that citizens will only trust and embrace data-driven innovations if they are confident that their personal data sharing inside the European Union will be subject to full compliance with the European Union strict data protection rules. It's something that we need to ensure and reinforce, because Europe's leading role will depend on those higher standards, and we need to ensure that Europe is perceived and regarded as the trustable partners. Even from other geographies, I'm thinking about South America or Africa. When they look to the big blocks of geopolitical areas, Europe must have this competitive advantage of being the trustable partner. The partner that in fact respects individual rights, that protects public data without blocking innovation and creativity. And to release this full potential, we need to find our European way of balancing the flow and the wide use of data, while at the same time preserving privacy, security standards, safety, and ethical standards. So I would summarize that both from a national point of view and also from the perspective of the Portuguese presidency of the European Union that will occur in the first semester of 2021, we will be aligned with this message. We need to put people first in developing technology, as well as on the need to defend and promote European values and rights in how we design, we make and deploy technology in the real economy. So, in other words, we are fighting to promote this new concept of digital democracy with a purpose. And we should promote technology and data-intensive use, but always having in mind that this must be a human-centric approach. So, for final remarks, I think we have a great consensus that health is probably the sector where digital transition and data revolution will have the biggest impact. Health data is crucial to provide better care to citizens and to ensure the sustainability of our NHS and of our economical competitiveness. And we are already working with the Health Ministry and the entire health sector with the purpose of accelerating Portugal's digital transition without leaving anyone behind. It's something that we must always take into consideration, that not everybody is ready at this moment to embrace the digital journey, and it's something that we must pay very strong attention to those margins of population that are not yet ready for the digital world. And we want to position Portugal as a leading country and a reference in the world of digital. The success of Portugal and of Europe's digital transformation over the next, I would say, 5 years will depend on the capacity to establish effective frameworks that ensure trustworthy technologies and that give businesses the confidence and means to digitize. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, André Azevedo. I'm so proud of the Portuguese leadership in this digital transformation, and I'm really pleased that you could take a few minutes of your busy schedule to be with us. Thank you so much for your participation, and I'm sure our Facebook watchers are also liking it a lot.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your invitation. And good journey of this discussion during these 2 days.
Thank you so much.